Right, hello YouTube. This is a video I've been planning to make for some time. I'm going to be talking about gun laws in the UK, firearm certificates, how you can acquire one, general shooting, what guns are legal and what guns aren't. I've been thinking about making a video like this for some time. What spurred me on really is that I've been watching a channel by Iraq veteran 8888, who has a fantastic channel. It's very good, very informative. They're based in America, and they do a series of videos all about gunsmithing, shooting in general, the sale of guns, gun laws and things like that. And they have a gun gripes section where they talk about all sorts of different and interesting things. It's a fantastic channel. I recommend you check it out. But they've recently did an episode called Gun Gripes, episode 14, which is talking about gun laws in America. And they had a part on there where they talked about gun laws in the UK. Now, I'm currently in the process of trying to acquire a firearms license so I can purchase my own guns. And being as it's a gun video and I'm probably very boring to look at, I thought I'd put a gun in the foreground so you can look at something whilst you listen to me waffle on. I've got a little itinerary here, so I hopefully won't miss anything. I'm trying to keep it as short as possible, and so we can just cover the very first bits of basics. The first thing you need to know is that yes, in the UK we do have guns. We have rifles and shotguns. Pistols are illegal and have been since 1997, but we won't go into why pistols are illegal, but pistols are completely illegal. There is no license you can get to ever own one. And what you need to do, if you're interested in shooting in the UK, you need to first of all find your nearest gun shop, and you can go in there and you can speak to them, and then you can go onto Google and find out where your nearest gun range is, and you can go down to speak to them, and they will tell you all you need to know about everything which basically I'm about to tell you. To get a firearms license, you have to meet quite a few different bits of criteria, which I'll go through now. If you want to shoot your own firearms at a range, first of all you have to become a full member of a gun club, which requires a 3-month probationary period. After you've been there for 3 months, you can apply to become a full member. Once you have full membership, you can apply for a firearms license, which they send a form. You go to the police and you can get a form through, and you fill out the form, and then you send it off to the police. And whilst they're dealing with that request, that form that you've sent, you have to get a gun safe which meets British standard safety security and fix it to your wall. That's before you've even been granted a license, because they will come around and check. And that's where you can keep your firearms. Now, on gun safes, you can keep your shotguns and rifles in the same safe, but you have to keep your ammunition in a separate locked safe. It can be in the same safe, i.e. a safe with a small container in it for just the ammunition, but you have to be able to lock it. So as I said, all pistols are illegal, but you can get black powder revolvers, i.e. the old 18th century sort of Western style revolvers that you see in the old Western films. You can get those on a gun license. Now, if you want a shotgun, that is a different type of license. You have to get a rifle license for rifles and a shotgun license for shotguns. You can't get a gun license which will cover absolutely everything. Unfortunately, more's the pity. Now, when you apply for a rifle license, on the form will be a little section, and it'll have 5 tabs, and you have to write on there a list of the guns that you intend to purchase. And I've only just learnt this myself, because I'm going through this right now in filling out my form. And you have to write on there of your choice. You can choose 5 guns, and you have to write exactly what gun you want and why you want it. And you can just write, say you want a Ruger 1022, you can write the reason for wanting it is for target shooting and for practicing. But if you say you want a high-powered sniper rifle, you have to give a bit of a better reason than that. So as I say, you have to be a full member of a gun club for a minimum of at least 3 months. And also the police will come round to your house and interview you to make sure you are a man of sober character. That's their terminology, it's on their forms, so make sure you're a man of sober character. And they'll also inspect your gun cabinet to make sure it comes up to the standards. But yes, one of the things that did surprise me is that you do have to to specify which 5 rifles you want. Now, say if you get a gun license and a couple of years later you want to buy a rifle which isn't on that license, you have to then resubmit your license with the new firearm on it, and either pay to have another section added so you could have 6 firearms, or take one away from your original 5. And at each stage, it's quite expensive to do this. At each stage there is obviously a cost. You have to pay to be a probationary member of the gun club, which is about £30, and then pay to be a full member, which is another £30, and then pay for the rifle license application, which is £50. Now the rifle license will last for 5 years, and after that 5 years you have to go through the whole thing again. But it can take quite a bit of time. From speaking to friends whom I go shooting with, I know people who've been waiting 9 months to get their rifle license through. So they've been unable to purchase themselves any firearms during that period, but they are insured to use club guns. Depending on what club you go to, they'll have a different selection of firearms, but mostly you'll be shooting 22s and very small caliber rifles like that. Also, tasers and pepper sprays, things like that in England are completely illegal. There are no laws where you can get them. One of the things you don't need a license for in this country are air rifles, i.e. this one here, which is an Air Arms S410 Classic. All air rifles in this country are 11.5 foot-pounds of energy. They have to be under 12 foot-pounds of energy by law. So basically, as soon as you go up to spending about £150 upwards, you'll get one which is 11.5 pounds, which is exactly what this is set to. Now this is a very powerful air rifle. It's a very accurate air rifle. It's a very powerful air rifle. Now you can walk into a shop at 16 years old and you can walk out with this, but it could take anywhere up to a year just to get a 22 long rifle, that is. Another thing that you need to take into account is that it's very expensive shooting in the UK. In America, guns are plentiful, and so is ammunition. So, as you know, by that means, if there's a lot of it, they're going to be reasonably priced. But to take a gun which most of you will know, use, or even own, the Ruger 1022 are ridiculously cheap in America. They stack them up. I've seen them outside Walmart, and you can buy a brand new one for $150. Exactly the same gun in this country, you're looking to pay anywhere between £350 to £800. And the exchange rate's pretty much the same as it is now, so you can imagine how expensive that is. Also, ammo is very expensive in this country. So it's a very expensive hobby to get into, but it's also very fun and it's very rewarding. So that's another thing. If you want to start getting into shooting, you need to realise that it's going to take a lot of time, and you will be interviewed regularly by the police. They will come not just once you've got your licence, if you get your licence. They will also come round at each renewal to make sure that you haven't turned into a raving lunatic, and things like that. When on rifles as well, you're limited to semi-automatics only. You can't get an automatic rifle in this country at all. Right, I think that's all I can think to say at the moment. If there's anything you'd like to know, or if I've missed anything or got something wrong, just put a comment down in the comments section, and I'll try to answer all questions. Other than that, I hope this video was informative.